All right, everybody, welcome back to part two of threat identification or situational awareness, or what that gut feeling you're getting is actually telling you, or your spidey senses, or sixth sense, or whatever it is you call it. Uh, Honestly, truly, it goes back to what how you as a human being, as an animal on planet Earth, how you survived, how we as a species survived to this point. Uh, in my first video, I talked about a guy by the name of Yusuf Badu, Yousefbadou. Emergence Disrupt is his company. He was actually part of the Marines uh, that helped develop what the Marine Corps calls nowadays combat profiling, and it helped us to identify insurgents in Baghdad and in Iraq. Um, I urge you to go check out his training. He is much better at this than I am. He's a much better presenter than I am. But I talked about on my first video the Millennium Bomber, and that was back in 1999. That clip I want you to check that out now. So give me just a second. Let me share my screen, and here we go. So in the next lesson is actually, let's go ahead and play it, at least a part of it. Okay, so I wanted you to understand this is a great example of trusting your gut. You know something is wrong, not something's just not adding up here. So one word that he used in this is articulate. Okay, we've heard it over and over and over again that this whether it was a child commits suicide or a active shooter or whatever the case may be, um, after the event, people come out and say, "Hey, I knew something was wrong. I told the cops this, that, and the other." The problem is being able to articulate that. Law enforcement needs to have what we call probable cause. By a preponderance of the evidence, I believe that this is what's going on here. Probably what is happening. The officer has to be able to justify that in writing to a judge in order to act. Okay, it's called a probable cause affidavit after you have to take action. In order for us to develop probable cause, we have to have the best information that we can possibly get our hands on, and that in situations like this where there are indicators, we need to be able to articulate that. So the better you can articulate what it is that is making your spidey senses go off, the better a law enforcement officer is going to be able to articulate that in his probable cause statement. And really, that's the whole gist of what I want to get here today. Today, tomorrow, as we go through the rest of this. Again, this is an intro. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It's going to be up to you to start digging into this. I can help you with that if you want. I may do an in-person Zoom or something at some point. I don't know. I generally do these classes in person because it really we learn a lot from the interaction between me and the audience that's learning this from their experiences. So I'm going to be able to, I'm going to put some of my experiences out there. I'm going to give you what I've got. I've got videos that I would love to be able to share, but YouTube would probably boot me off for sharing them. But I think I could get away with Yusuf. I encourage you, go check out his company, go check out his training. So let me get through. I'm going to go through a couple of things that this would be in the in-person class. So taking a quick look at some of these. All right, let's start with this slide. For those of you who are armed, whether you're a law enforcement officer or you're prior military, or you're a concealed carry holder and you've been doing this for a while and you've got some training, or your spouse or significant other is, you've probably seen this. You walk into a restaurant, and where does that, if you're armed, where do you want to be? Okay. Why is this particular photo significant? Well, you're watching the entrance there on your left. You see an exit, which is likely to the kitchen, also an entryway. You're able to watch other diners. You see who's around you. You're making judgments on people. Okay, you're making judgments because you're part of the human race. You're an apex predator on this planet. You're making judgments and you're understanding the situation that you're in right now, and you're looking out for your own safety, and you're looking out for the safety of your the people that you're with, and everybody else in the restaurant. So you're looking at something. So you're looking at the entrance, you're looking at the exits, and what how traffic patterns are going to move. You know what's normal inside a restaurant like this. The more you know about normal, and you know a lot about normal. That's one of the things that you're going to realize in this course is you know a lot more than you give yourself credit for. You may be acting some ways that are instinctual, but there is a reason they are instinctual. So you're going to look at this and you're going to assume some things uh, based on your experience as a human being and living in the society that we do. You're going to expect some things that are normal, and it's going to be easier for you to pick out what's abnormal. This is going to be this is going to help you, I hope, refine a lot of those instincts and that training. Looking at the outside of the restaurant, you're going to assume certain things about the clientele that is likely inside that restaurant, and the atmosphere that you expect. It's probably going to be different in this restaurant than it is this restaurant. It's probably going to be different in this restaurant during the daytime, like you see it, versus at night on a Friday night. When it gets dark, things are a little different. It's a little bit different world out there. You already know what to expect because you've got training and experience. You may not have the training that you think of, but you've got instincts and experience as a human being in our society. You've seen things like this and may have only been in the movies, but you kind of have an idea of what you might expect. Same thing with with game day. You're going to see me wearing a lot of Texas A&M. And in my first video, I was wearing an A&M T-shirt. Hey, it was Aggie game day. I'm proud of the fact that I'm from this area. I went to school there. I went to the academy at Texas A&M. I worked for Texas A&M Police Department for about 5 years back in the 90s. Uh, but any game, any venue like this, you're going to be able to, and we're going to touch on this again, some of these same photos a little bit later. Uh, you know what to expect. You know how crowds are going to be moving. You know where they're going to be. You can judge a lot about this situation, this photo, uh, in a glance. And I'm going to hopefully teach you how to do that. Okay, so this is the one that I'm not going to be able to show on YouTube. So I'm going to step away from that for a second. But just to see, just so you understand how quickly things can happen. I'm not sure that that video is actually out anywhere anymore. It was briefly, but that is the was it Niagara? It was a New York shooter who went to a supermarket about 2 hours away from where he lives. And that was his video of his attack. He was wearing a body cam and and videoed all of this. And I want you to, if I could show it to you in a different venue, I will. And if it's still out there somewhere, you can probably find it. But so that you can understand just how quickly events like this unfold, and literally having just a few seconds of understanding, okay, yeah, there's my gut is telling me there's something off here, is enough to get away. So this is going to be this is the intro after the intro. This is all the stuff that we're going to be talking about over the coming videos. And we're going to get into one of the first of those six today. But so talking about baseline, the baseline is what's normal or what you expect to see in a given place at a given time with a given uh, crowd. Okay. It may be the people that are there, it may be the place, it may be a particular situation like the game. You're going to expect certain things as normal in situations like that. Uh, and it's using all your five senses, including your spidey sense. We've all got one. But those anomalies, you may have previous knowledge about this particular thing, whatever it is. It may be a particular template that's in your mind. It may be you may pick something out because of the context or the iconography or you name it of a particular situation, place, or people. It may be seeing how a family is interacting with each other and how that family interacts with others outside of their family group. And when there's somebody in a well-known position of authority or somebody who's famous that's in a neighborhood, things change. People act differently. So just things to be aware of. There's a whole slew of things that might uh, make it click that okay, something is out of the ordinary here. This was Yusuf's training. This is the guy that there was talking about Benny Norris. His actual name is Ahmad Rassam. Al Qaeda from Algeria, trained in Afghanistan. He was in Canada illegally, 40 pounds of HMX, homemade explosives. And this is an interesting article that came out in 2004 that was mostly luck. It was just luck that uh, Diana Dean, the Border Patrol agent, was able to dig a little bit deeper because something was off. It's it's luck, but it's not. It's luck in the fact that she didn't understand what it is that we're learning here today. She didn't understand the science behind why your gut is telling you something's off. I don't think it was luck. I think it was she trusted in her instincts and she kept digging. And sometimes that is exactly what we need to do. So, six scientific domains that have been broken down, and the vast majority of this I credit to the United States Marine Corps. Yusuf and his team the teams upon teams that all contributed to understanding this in Baghdad. Six scientific domains: heuristics, kinesics, biometrics, proxemics, geographics, atmospherics. Okay, they're not. Don't worry about what it's called. When it comes time, you don't need to know the scientific names, or you don't just need to be able to articulate to law enforcement or to a school administrator or to the hospital or whoever it is, whether your management, law enforcement, whatever it is, why you think this is what you're telling it, what it seems to be to you. The one that we're going to get into today is heuristics. Heuristics is a tactical shortcut. Yusuf likes to call them file folders. These are things that you have seen, you have learned just because you're part of this society. And you draw a very rapid conclusion to a reasonable conclusion to what it is that you're seeing because you've seen it before. Okay, case in point is this guy. I'm not even going to ask you what's going on here because I know you already know. We've seen this before. It's just a dude out in the middle of nowhere. He's looking at a map. Okay, he's lost. We get it. That's simple, but it's it's a very simple explanation for a very complex set of things that are going on in your brain that that are helping you understand this. And you've seen this in some of those other photos that I've already shared on this slide deck. It's things you've seen before. You can glean a lot just because of the context of looking at the context of the situation. Just like you glean a lot from the context just looking at this. And remember, it's going to change at night. This is going to change throughout the course of the game. The directions that people are moving at certain times is going to tell you exactly what part of the game you're in. Whether it's, not even kickoff yet, the game's over, or we're at halftime, or just a quick glance at this, and there's a lot of information to be gleaned from this. And you do it very, very quickly. Snap of your fingers. You know exactly what's going on because you've already got those mental shortcuts. Same token, this. Now, if we saw this in the United States, you're going to think one thing, and it would be accurate. This doesn't belong in the United States. However, if you have, and most people have not traveled extensively throughout the world. I get it. It's not for everybody, but for those who have, you know that in some parts of the world, that is local law enforcement. They're the good guys. You have to expand. You have to understand you have to understand the context of a situation by the totality of it. Location, location, location. It doesn't just matter in real estate. It matters what part of the world you're in or what part of the world somebody comes from because the culture is different. Okay. The way things happen are different. And this is where you need to expand your initial decision or conclusion of what you think this is at a glance by looking at the bigger picture, the context. Look at the people around. Look at how they're acting. Look at how the individuals in the truck are acting. Those knowing the bigger picture of what's going on in the community and in the bigger picture of the part that country goes a long way to helping put context into what you're seeing here. Okay. So heuristics, that is the first one, the first piece of that's the first of the six domains that we're going to talk about, and I'll cover one or two domains in each of them, and then we're going to wrap it up with a little bit more about how you can get better at this, how you can some of we're talking specifically about uh, not domestic terrorism, but terrorism here in the United States. We're talking about radical Islamic terrorism. It's going to be a little bit different than this. This is the six baseline areas that you need to be familiar with, and understanding what your body and what your subconscious is seeing and reading into them. That's making that spidey sense go off and be able to articulate that. But you're going to have to put that, we all now have to put that in the context of Islamic terrorism. And there are some things that are going to apply with picking out radicalism that I may get into at a later point. But this is the basics. Thank you for being part of your community and being part of the bigger effort for all of us to wrap our minds around the fact that this is potentially, very likely here, and we're going to see it at some point. And what can we do to help identify it early, if for no other reason to keep us and our family safe and get off the X, or if we have to intervene to be able to explain later on why we did so. But uh, hope to see you back for part three. Be safe out there.